We've got the gearbox set up in the stand here. That's the back of the gearbox. This is the front of the gearbox. Now we're going to hone in on the reverse idler. And we can see the reverse idler there where it goes. Now the reverse idler goes between these two webs. Now I'll see if I can point them out. You have this one here and that one there, and the shaft sits in there between these two webs, if I can keep out of the way. So the big gear at the back here runs on 4th gear all the time, then it's in constant mesh, then 1st gear comes up and slides back into here. So what the idea is with this is to make yourself up a small dummy shaft. Now the dummy shaft needs to be able to fit in there. I'll take the main or the idler shaft out. Now it needs to fit in there like that, just be a loose fit, snug but loose. Now mine is 59 millimeters or 2 15/16, and to get that, you won't all have that special tool laying around. I didn't. And so to get that piece of inch shaft, I just used a category 2 top link pin. I cut the middle section out, give it a bit of a polish, make sure there was no burrs, and just filed the slightest chamfer on here. So what the go is we fit this shaft here, we set that up, then we put all the needle rollers down, we put the spacers in, the thrust washers on, and then we bring the whole show down into the gearbox here. Then we put it into place there. Then, so we don't drop all the rollers and things, the idea is to line it all up if you can. I can't see. I'm looking at the camera monitor trying to do it. Anyway, the idea is to line it all up in here nicely, and then we bring this reverse idler shaft through, and in doing that we actually push our little shaft out, and that way we keep everything in line, so all the needle rollers are where they're supposed to be. So for now we'll go and sit him up on a bit of board or something like that, and we'll start feeding the rollers around. And the kit we have to do that is a Sparex 40787 kit. So we'll go over to a bench and we'll try and get organised, ready to slide the shaft in. Right, I've put a craft mat down here just because it's less glary and hard, not as hard on the eyes. We have a little packet up the back here with our needles in it. There should be 56 needles. Now, at the back of the gear, we have a spacer to bring the gear forward. Then we have a thrust washer. Now, the thrust washer here, you can just see a groove around where the little spacer sat last time. I'm actually going to turn that around now. And we'll put the shaft in the spacer. Alright, that's about the centre of the screen, isn't it? And then in the Sparex kit we get a new washer to hold the needles in place. So from here we can get the gear, put a heap of grease in there. Sit it over. Now what we're looking to do is put a full complement of rollers all the way around here. I was hoping that they'd all stay up a bit. My grease is a bit runny. Sometimes you can get a nice thick grease, which I should have done. And that will keep them up where you'd like. And this grease is a bit runnier than I thought it might be. It's just wheel bearing grease. So what we do, we just do a full run of rollers all the way. Now it's raining on the roof. The hassles with filming in an old tin shed, eh? Hopefully it's not too noisy. Normally if you give it a bit of a twist, that lines any rollers up that aren't quite lined up as yet. Another 2 or 3. You should be full. Yeah, you can see all the way around there. Well, it's hard for you to see by the look of that. We have the washer in behind, then there's a spacer in the centre. So that lets you see right around a little easier, but there's no gaps. Then there's another, put the spacer on. And now we should be able to set it up and fill the top here. This is why we have the dummy shaft, so that holds it all in position. It's nice to have a little bit of rain, I tell you. It's very dry. Right, there's not a chance of fitting any more in there, they just don't want to go. You can see the full complement in there. There's no no gaps if you'd like to try and fit another one in. So that spacer goes there. Now we'll just pop him around this side and make sure there's no gaps here as well. There's no gaps there either. So we put a spacer, the thrust, the rear spacer. Then I think in the gearbox there is another thrust. So I'll just have a look for that. Slid down there earlier and I just didn't get to pick it up. So with the grease that's our idler done. So now we'll get rid of the green hobby mat here and we'll try and put that in. Right, so I'll give him a turn. I'll hold all this gear as one piece. Okay, you can see the webbing here, there and there. So what we have to do is this shaft goes this way. At the back of the gearbox, this lock tab holds on, so this shaft actually goes that way. So we try and slide that gear in. We line all the thrust washers and everything up. And we slide the gear in that way. And then we just let him down. There we go, and you can just see the shaft coming out through the front. You have to hold a bit of tension on that so it doesn't just disappear on you. And then the split in the shaft for the lock tab goes down. So now we can take our little dummy shaft out. Then we have the lock tab at the back here, so I might be able to wind that right over, holding onto the tab. Yep, you can just see that. I could probably come a bit further there for you. And the tab goes on here. And we line that little hole up. This has a lock tab on it, so we can tighten this up. Right, we'll grab a spanner. Okay, now we can tighten this fellow up. We'll just the right side. And there you go, we've got this fella here, he wants to line up. This bloke here. Okay, now that shaft's not going anywhere. Now we should be able to roll him over once more. And there you go, I'll bring you around that way a little more. And that's the shaft in position. It has a spacer at the back there. There will be a measurement for the thrust, but look, it's not that important. So that's that. That's the reverse idler in. That'll be the end of this little video. I'm just going to do each shaft separately, so if you'd like to revisit part of the video, you can just run back in quickly and not have to play a whole 1 hour video to pick up a little piece. So there you go, fitting the reverse idler shaft.